Doing great. How are you?
Good. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Kelie Gray, and I'm joined by my amazing team members, Allison Simpson,
Hello.
Trisha Moore,
Hi.
and Isabel Rawson.
Hello.
Today we are going to be talking about paving your way to home buying success. And this is our second webinar in a series about navigating the current market and what that takes, what it doesn't take, how we can help you with the process of learning more about the options during this time, and what we can do, what we can't do, how do we see real estate right now. Summit County market trends, what's happening locally, and also what's happening with the economy. Okay, so please feel free to share with us where you're listening from, where you're watching from. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A and we'll keep our eyes on that. We look forward to chatting with you, and we're here to help. We're here to help. So Allison is going to start by talking about COVID-19 in Colorado. What is going on in Colorado right now, Allison?
Yeah. Thanks, Kelie. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. I guess we wanted to do this because, you know, real estate is always local, right? You hear all these things on the national news, but really it boils down to what's happening in Summit County, what's happening in Colorado. So we thought we'd just take a little while to tell you about some of the things that are specific to Colorado and to Summit County. I guess the first thing is kind of looking back. Our governor, Governor Polis, he started us off with the stay-at-home order, and that was, there was no real estate showings, we could not get into properties at all. That was all through April, and then as of May 8th, we moved into phase 2, which is called Safer at Home, and so that's the idea, is to, you know, stay at home when you can, and it's meant that offices can open up at 50%. As far as real estate goes, we are allowed to do showings, real live showings. It's amazing. Inspectors can get in, photographers can get in. So, you know, with following a lot of different safeguards that we haven't had to do before, but at least that's opened up. We still are not able to do open houses. That's this phase that we're in right now. Coming June 1st, we are moving into the protect our neighbors phase. And we're waiting to see what that really will mean for Summit County. But so far, like at least with the restaurants and shops, so restaurants, you're not allowed to go and sit at a restaurant, but you can do takeout. So restaurants are being very creative about their takeout menus and takeout food. Shops are allowed a little bit of shopping with social distancing and only allowing a few people in. I was just seeing the other day that one of our favorites, Rivers in Frisco, they're open, I think it was 12 to 6, but they're allowing for private shopping if you want to make an appointment before then, which I thought, well, that sounds like fun. Our Summit High School graduation is this weekend, and you know, they've got a, sorry?
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. My twins are graduating, so they've got a big motorcade parade that they're doing, and you know, a virtual commencement video, and it's definitely different than the graduations that any of us went through, but I think it's going to be really fun for them, and even maybe more memorable in some ways. So things are different, but we're gradually taking baby steps back towards full engagement. One thing that is kind of a wild card for us that we're all very anxious to hear about is where nowhere in Summit County are short-term rentals allowed right now. So no hotels or motels or condominiums, no Airbnb, none of that is allowed right now. And we're waiting to see if the governor decides to allow that again come June 1st. So we'll keep you posted.
Everybody's kind of on pins and needles about that because it's affected a lot of people's businesses and livelihoods.
Yeah.
How about recreation, Allison?
Yeah, good question. Since we are we're Colorado's playground up here. I love that. That is our little moniker, if you didn't know that. Summit County is Colorado's playground. But what we do know is that the playgrounds are opening up, like the real playgrounds. Our trails have always been open. They didn't close down, which has been really good. Like the marina, the Dillon Marina is open full board this weekend. I think they still, like the retail is going to be, you won't be able to just go in there. But people are putting boats in. My husband who works there is frantically trying to get boats in the water. So that's good. And the campgrounds are also open, but they're all kind of following federally mandated rules. So some they're open-ish. I would say if you want to come up here and you have a favorite campground, to just look online and see what specifically we know about that campground.
The most current information online.
Yeah.
Good. And what about the Tiki Bar? Is that going to be opening up this weekend?
The Tiki Bar, unfortunately, no, will not be open. Even though it's an open air restaurant, it's still a restaurant, so it is still closed. But I have a feeling that after June 1st, it'll be one of the ones, those open air restaurants, I think will be the first ones to start to be able to open up a little bit. So we'll be ready for the Tiki Bar soon.
Good.
Yeah, so there's some things that are different, but and we're not business as usual by any means, but we are definitely moving that direction. So baby steps. It's all good.
Baby steps. Speaking of baby steps, Tricia, what's happening in the world of childcare? We're distance learning in Summit County through the end of this school year. What's happening with childcare?
So June 1st is that target date as well. We are looking to open back up, at least at Lake Dillon Preschool, which is where my daughter goes. And I think a lot of the childcare centers within the county are the same. I kind of chuckle at the term curbside drop off, because that's how we're going to be dropping off our kiddos, is at the side door with, here you go. I'm not even entering into the building. Things are certainly going to be different, but good. Yeah, we're excited and taking it one step at a time with all sorts of precautions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We have to do what we can, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Isabel, you get to talk to us about how do we actually buy and sell right now. Tell me about that. What is you're showing property this afternoon. What does that look like right now?
Right. So Allison touched on this briefly. We are allowed to go and show properties now, which is great. Kind of getting back into a norm. So what that looks like for us is we have to wear a mask and gloves. All parties do. And still maintain that 6-foot physical distancing when we're in the property. And then we meet our buyers there at the property, or a seller if we're doing working on the listing. So we can go and meet and show you through the place. And so the precautions with the gloves and the mask, everyone must wear who's there and present. And just because we are allowed to go and show properties to our buyers doesn't mean quite that grandma and grandpa and all the cousins get to tag along. Just the important parties to the transaction who are actually signing.
Okay. And FaceTime. We can FaceTime family members in that want to see.
Yep. And so like we have done for years, we are still allowed to do the FaceTime or, do a video recording and send it off to our clients at a later time. That is still allowed, and we're great at doing that. So if you want your cousin's inputs, I can meet you there, or we can meet you there and go through the property.
Okay.
And there we are with our gear, suited and ready to go.
Good.
Love it. We've been going through lots of sets of gloves, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just add from a perspective of sellers, for any of you that might be considering selling, is that yes, anyone who comes into your home is going to have a mask and gloves on, and then And we also are providing disinfectant wipes at the properties. And then the house is being, disinfected in between showings, light switches and door handles and that kind of thing. So we're really doing everything we can to just stay safe and keep everything clean and make everyone feel comfortable.
Good. Good.
Yep.
So it's interesting, the buyers that are looking right now that are willing to take these precautions, they're serious. There's some pent up demand, right? People that are looking are motivated. Would you ladies agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, when we're not able to do any showings in April, and so people they're like you say, pent up demand. Now that we've got the pause button off, the buyers are coming back and the sellers are putting their properties on the market. Just pretty normal for us. But I know we'll get to more of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the overall economy and how that is impacting real estate and what does recovery look like for us. And we've heard terms V-shaped recovery, U-shaped recovery, or a Nike Swoosh. And what does Nike Swoosh even mean? The U.S. housing market has proven to be really, really strong and resilient in recent pandemics. Housing is poised to pull us out of this current recession. Major financial institutions, you can see here, predicting, yes, it's a tough second quarter, but things are looking really good for the second half of the year. What we have to remember is that this is not a housing crisis. This is a health crisis. And things are different than they were a decade ago when we saw the last housing crisis. There was an oversupply of product, of inventory with the Great Recession, and we have an undersupply right now. There's more buyers than there's properties available. So this slide is an example of the different shapes of recovery, where we get the V and the U and the Nike swoosh, as long as we don't have an L-shaped recovery. A V or a U or a swoosh is okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the economy begins a recovery later in 2020, we expect housing to play a leading role in that. That's exciting. That is very exciting. Here's another example of kind of the downward showings going down and then right back up again. April was a tough month, end of March. And like Allison said, we weren't able to show real estate for a little while. No new listings, no buyers, no photographers, no stagers, and that has changed. And within our office, we are definitely seeing some good activity with our buyers and sellers. People are here, people are looking, people are excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've had 4 new listings within our office just in the past week. And Isabel's showing property this afternoon. Trish, I think you're showing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here to help. Send us any questions that you have in the Q&A. And let us know if you'd like to get together in person or virtually. We can schedule a one-on-one buyer or seller consultation and just chat more about what your dreams and goals are and what it is that you are looking for in Summit County real estate, Colorado, nationally for that matter. We want to be able to have the opportunity to sit down and chat with you and learn more about what you are looking for. And that's we pride ourselves on being good listeners. So anything else to add to that, ladies, about supply and demand? And
Sure. Yeah, I would add to that, taking it from a national level down to our little local Summit County level. What does all of this mean for Summit County? Certainly, when looking at the numbers And I pulled what has happened even just in the last week. We've had 79 new listings come on the market. 26 have gone under contract. We've had 16 properties sell in the last week, or that have actually sold. When comparing May last year to May this year, certainly it's a lower number. We had 111 properties sell in May of 2019, only 43 thus far, but really, if you think about it, as we've mentioned, we hit the pause button there. We weren't even showing property. So it is kind of amazing that even of those 43 properties that have sold, 18 sold in less than 10 days. So that means that people weren't even really even getting a chance to see the property before putting in an offer. They were making sight unseen offers on properties, which is, not uncommon for our area, but certainly still pretty impressive to take that that leap and go for it for Summit County properties. So that's something to be noted. Certainly, all indicators are showing that for our summer market, and summer is certainly our busiest time, that things will be on track, and that we are, not all that far off from what we were doing this time last year. Days on the market, at last year it's 22, this year 23. We're really right there. Pretty interesting to consider that we're still at 97.5% of list price when things are selling, and in terms of pricing overall, I like the words, and this is on not just a local level, but nationally, from Lawrence Yoon, who is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. He says there is no meaningful downward trend. If anything, they appear to be rising. So things are moving in Summit County, and we are certainly thankful to see that, and excited to help other people throughout this summer, because I think it's going to be busy.
I think that's a really impactful statement from the National Association of Realtors chief economist. We've heard Lawrence Yoon speak before, and
Okay, so
very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to add that, there's so much, there is a lot of uncertainty and turmoil in the market, right? And just everything you hear and watch and see, and nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen, right? The crystal balls are all in the shop. They're not working. But I think, when we remember that, the reason that people come to Summit County, and the reason that people want to live here and own here as second homeowners, is the mountains and the lifestyle and the skiing and the hiking and the fresh mountain air. That's not going anywhere. That's not changing. So, markets go up, they go down, but what doesn't change is the mountains.
Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Love that. If anybody's just hopping on now, feel free to talk to us in the chat and let us know where you're watching or listening from. If you have any questions, use the Q&A, and we'd be happy to chat with you more about what you're looking for, what your move-up home might be, what maybe some ideas that we have for making your current home better. We've all spent a lot of time in our homes recently and have learned that there are certain things that we love and certain things that we don't. So we'd love to chat more.
Yeah, if you own property in Summit County already, and you're thinking, well, we want to be up there more, we need a bigger place, let us know that too. We can help you navigate selling. And if you've been renting and you want to move to another rental, the 1031 tax deferred exchange is a great vehicle to defer taxes, and we'd be happy to help you navigate that as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're excited to provide valuable information, and we hope this answers some questions. We'd love to let us know in the chat what topics you would like to talk about the next time we do a webinar. I think bottom line, it's just important to remember that what we are going through locally and nationally as far as the housing market goes is that this is not a housing crisis, right? This is a different type of crisis. It's a health crisis. So people are buying and selling, and we're happy to help.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you all. Looks like Mary said thanks for the updates. You are welcome, Mary. Thanks for listening. And we look forward to hearing from you all and seeing you at the Tiki Bar soon and out on the trails and maybe at curbside childcare drop-off, right?
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Bye.